Hey guys, welcome back to my two Leones. I am Doreen. I am so sorry for the lack of videos over the past few months, but I'm hoping that this new video, this topic, will give you an insight. So today I'm here with my close friend, Abdul Hamid. What's up?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, fine. Before we
Okay.
get into this video, I would like to thank you if you have subscribed. Thank you so much. I love you. And if you haven't, please click the subscribe button below and get to know more about me, my two Leons, mental health journey, etc., etc. Before we go into this video, actually, I would want to ask Abdul Hamid, do you remember how we became friends?
I can't quite remember. I think it had to do with social media, poetry, something, something, right? But can you remember?
Yeah, actually, big forehead. I can remember. um, Abdul Hamid texted me in 2019 about a poem that I wrote on depression. I think that's my best poem ever. And he asked me to explain. You asked me to explain a line.
What's
He
thing to
texted
do,
me on
right?
Facebook. We weren't even friends on Facebook. It was later that he sent the friend request. He just texted me first. And I'm like, okay. Texted me on WhatsApp. And then we've been good friends ever since. You don't remember.
Good friends, yeah. Yeah,
We,
just what she said.
we tight now. We tight. Anyway,
Yeah.
today we'll be talking about mental health and being a creative. Abdul Hamid, tell me something about this.
First of all, yeah, it's a pleasure to be here today. My name is Abdul Hamid Kanu. I'm a photographer, filmmaker, and a part-time YouTuber. So I'm a creative and I deal with mental health related issues. And every now and then I share my story on my socials. And I think that's where she picked it up and say, it would be nice for me to be here today and talk about my journey. So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
here today. Thank you
yeah,
for
yeah.
having me.
You're welcome, actually. Thank you for being here. I would like to talk about this. How does it feel as a creative and having issues with mental health? What type of issues do you have, actually?
It's quite hard to just like put it out there like I have this, right? Because I try to not make these things part
Okay,
of me,
let's say
right?
what you
Like
struggle with most of the time.
okay, I've struggled with anxiety and depression for the past 2 years or so, but like I think I'm in a better place now. So thank God for healing. I'm in a better place now, and but every now and then I think I deal with anxiety again. So but that's it for
It's
now.
less
Yeah,
now. You're working on it.
yeah, I'm working on it. It's yeah,
So when it
work in
comes to
progress.
creating as a visual artist, how does your anxiety actually affect you?
I think my anxiety affects me in many ways. It's just like basically stopping me to like pick up a camera basically for to make something because basically what I do I don't necessarily have to have a script, especially when it comes to my YouTube. I don't necessarily have to have a script to do something again, right? But like just being out there, like just doing random things, it's good for me because like it's a practice I do to get myself like to better myself in what I do basically. So every now and then anxiety like kicks in,
Yeah,
and
anxiety,
then
anxiety.
like I can't just pick up my camera and go do the random things that I enjoy. You understand, right? It's like I have a passion for this. I love doing this, but even with that, it's sometimes hard for me to actually just get up and do something. So I think that one is I don't
Yeah,
know.
I sometimes feel that we actually relate because as a photographer and a creative also, I find it hard for me to pick up my camera is actually really hard for me because I'm like, what if I'm not good enough and just fear over me. I feel like an imposter sometimes, especially when I started this YouTube channel talking about mental health. I'm like, who am I to talk about mental health? Just because I've had struggles doesn't mean that I should talk about it. Doesn't mean that people will listen to me. It's hard, that imposter thing.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
struggle with.
I think I understand when you talk about imposter syndrome. I'm not trying to diagnose myself on YouTube here, but I've read about it and I kind of understood. I kind of understand what it means about having imposter syndrome, and especially with being a creator in this space we're in today, the space of the internet, where art has been reduced to basic likes and algorithms, analytics, and all right. So you tend to compare yourself with others, and then you feel this feeling of inadequacy.
Yeah,
So
I
you
feel
see
that
all that
way.
happens, and again, stem all that comes from imposter syndrome and all. Yeah, but I came across a really great quote not long ago that said, "What comparison." is a thief of joy.
Yeah.
So yeah, especially when it comes to what we do as creators, we most times we don't always create from the darkness. Understand? We most times we create from joy. Understand, right? But it's hard to create art that sparks joy from a place that joy doesn't reside. You
Wow.
understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you are comparing yourself with people and then you're comparing yourself with numbers and start saying, oh, maybe this person's channel is bigger than mine, this person's Instagram is bigger than mine, they have these numbers and so, right? Not looking at what, like the background of creating and all, right? So you start comparing yourself to all these things and then you take away from the joy that you should be creating from.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I feel like has been really, that quote has been, the quote itself, just looking at it, has been a coping mechanism for me, I would say.
Yeah, it's a way to. Yeah, I understand. I understand
Yeah.
very much. And who said that quote? Do you know where that
Like, I don't know really, it's something I came across on the internet or so.
Okay, okay. So basically, I would like you to know that a lot of people feel this way, not just
Yes.
creatives, ordinary people, because in the their jobs, relationships, even in school, most people feel like they don't deserve to go to college, or maybe like when I got my acceptance letter, I was like, did they was it a mistake? Obviously, I'm intelligent. I know that.
Yes, you are.
But was it a mistake? And a lot of people feel this way, and it's hard, it's difficult because we don't talk about it. And what we don't know is that, okay, I feel this way, Abdul Hamid feels this way, my videographer might probably feel this way, and a lot of other people, but we don't talk about it. We just assume that, people act like people belong there. So, what I'm trying to get at, do you think that society has had actually found a way to carve to groom us into feeling that certain set of people belong this way and we don't belong this way? Because I've been to events and where I feel like I don't belong, I feel awkward around the table, and then I'm like, I don't belong, and then someone opens his or her mouth, and I'm like, oh, I belong here. That person doesn't,
I get it.
like, and that person acts as if they belong there. So society, back to society.
Yeah. I feel like even with the education that we've had, and I don't know about you, but like the education we've all, I believe many people have had, like this grading system and all. So like all these things have put us in the place where, like, okay, this person is number one,
Yeah.
you number two, right? And the rest don't count. You understand, right? So all these things we have, like we've known these things, like they've been there, understand, right? Society has forced us to be in a position where we always aim to be up there, and when we're not, then we compare to the ones that are there already.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
basically society doesn't talk about the process of becoming something or creating something more, right? It's like you are a creator, you have to be in the place where the art you create should be less about the numbers or like reaching certain goal, but more about where you are today. Understand, right? Like on this, trusting the process of building something. It, if not art, but you becoming an artist itself should be celebrated.
Yeah.
You understand, right? Rather than this person have more likes than this person. You get me, right? So like I believe society should be in a position where we respect people for just being themselves. Understand?
Yeah.
Like you wake up, like forget about being a creative. You're in school. You get me, right? Society should just celebrate that. Okay, this person is in school. This person wants to be in school. Like that's what's celebrating, right? Let's like how about we start giving awards to that?
Yeah,
Understand,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Rather than, oh, this person is number one. Like, no, I'm not bashing people that are number one in whatever they do. No, I respect people for putting in the grind, for doing the best in what they do. Understand, right? But that should not always be the norm. Understand, like celebrating the people that are out there doing that. Like just waking up in the morning, just breathing and going back to bed without any troubles, and so should be celebrated.
No.
I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. Solid point, actually. Solid point about that. Um, as a creative, and this, imposter syndrome sort of comes with insecurities about your work. So you work with Vicky Remo, right?
Yeah, I work with Vicky Remo at Vicky Remo and Company. marketing.
Okay. So when you work there, have you ever felt like a fraud? Like, oh my God, I don't belong. I'm sure maybe the first week or so. And have you ever, like, when given a job to do or something, and you like just bullshitted your way through it and just
Yeah.
winged it?
Okay. First of all, I felt that way really. That's okay. Let me just give like a story time. There was okay. The first week I came in, okay, I just got back from Turkey, and then I started working. I remember I got back from Turkey on the 30th of September, and on the 7th of October was my first day officially. So I had to teach people, I had to teach the interns, I have to guide them through visual storytelling. I remember it was like 15 minutes to the, about 15 minutes to the start of the session. I had to go inside, I went inside the restroom, started thinking like, what am I doing? Like, am I really going to do this? Like, what am I going to say to these people? I have already planned what I'm going to say. So you understand, right? I knew what I was going to say, and like I understand my way around the basics of photography, videography, filmmaking. I understand the basics of these things. But while I was there, at the moment, just like few minutes to this thing, I was hit with imposter syndrome. I started thinking like, what am I really going to do with this thing? Do I actually have the idea of, do I have an idea of this thing that I'm going to talk about today?
Oh.
I felt really bad. I remember they started calling me like, Abdul Hamid, you ready? If you're ready, come outside. And then I was like, I gave myself a basic pep talk. I said, nah, you actually know what you're doing. This is why you're here today. So I had to give myself a pep talk. I had to put myself down and say, Abdul Hamid, you know what you're doing. That's what has brought you here today. And it's what you know that will take you further from this internship, like this lecture you're about to give today, this teaching you're doing today, and beyond. Like basically, my game is figuring things out. So every now and then, I have to remind myself and say, you don't have to know everything. You don't have to have idea of what you do, but basically, just with what you know and the ambition to learn can get you to where you want to be. So like I have to figure things out as I go along. So yeah.
That is what has made me, kept me to be this resilient, because I'm like, I have to learn. I want to learn. I am
Yes.
Doreen. I am Doreen. I am supposed to learn. I am a boss girl, boss woman. Yeah, boss woman. Yeah,
Yes,
I
you
know.
are.
So that's why I've never given up on anything I've put my mind to. Do you think that these feelings of imposter syndrome, insecurities, do you think that they can be used for good? Like, for example, I have been to a lot of job interviews, and there was this particular one where they asked me if I could edit videos, and I don't know how to edit videos. Never actually thought of it, but I'm like, yes, I know how to do it. Deep within me, I don't know how, but and
I
I said
understand.
that, and after that interview, when I went home, I just downloaded lots of videos on how to edit videos. So do you think that it can be used, like for example, if someone else gave you a job to do and you know, like when you're working,
Yes.
and you say I can do it, do you think I can be forced for good depending on the situation?
Yeah, depending on the situation, yes. I'm not telling you like, okay, this one here, like of course you're not just gonna wake up and say I can do a surgery, you're not a doctor or something, right? Or you say I can solve this complex mathematical problem when you're not like a mathematician, right? But like let's say in being a creator, there are certain times where like confidence precedes competence. You get it, yeah? There are certain
You're just
times where,
throwing wise words.
why, oh yeah, wisdom.
Yeah,
So
so
there are certain times when what you need, where you are, as for certain situations, you just need to be confident in yourself and get up and do something. Like maybe start doing it. I don't know. I think it's Abraham Lincoln or so that had this quote and say what? He has this thing that say what? If you give me like 6 hours to cut down a tree or so, I'm going to use like 4 hours to sharp the axe or something like that. I can't quite remember, but maybe you can find it. But something along the lines of it, yeah? It's like, you give me time to do this thing, instead of I just can't go head on to do it when I don't have the idea to do it, right? So what I do now is I go learn how to do it, figuring things out. You see, that's how, and also it helps keeps you grounded. Really, humility. It helps keeps you
Yeah,
grounded. Like
in a way,
instead
yeah.
of all just like saying like force your way through things, it helps keeps you like you sit down and say, okay, I don't actually know how to do this per se, but I can teach myself this thing. Yes, and I think many times that's what you need.
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah.
So this is a personal question now.
Personal question. Yeah. Oh, all right, let's go.
Has this imposter syndrome thing ever affected your personal life, relationships, family? Because, like, for me, I tell myself I don't like the idea of marriage. I tell myself I don't want to get married.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And mainly it's because I'm scared, because I'm like, what if maybe 2 months or maybe a year into it and my husband says, like, I don't know, I saw you tan, or why didn't you act this way when we were dating, or just something, just types of fear in my head. So how has it affected? Do you have similar thoughts about that in
My
your
social
relationship,
life,
your
yeah.
social
My
life?
social life, I think, yeah. But with somebody who has dealt with severe anxiety, I think it's evident that I get to have a bit of social insecurities every now and then. So currently, that's what I deal with more rather than the imposter syndrome when it comes to doing my work. But it's basically, I'm in the space where I want to be out more. I want to be out with people, like meeting people and all. And imposter syndrome and these insecurities and all, like they hit every now and then. They
Yeah.
stop me from being out there in fostering relationships, fostering like being in a community, and so yeah, I get it when it comes to that.
So this is a random fact. Actually, when I was doing research on imposter syndrome, I found out that Maya Angelou and Albert Einstein also actually struggled with imposter syndrome. Maya Angelou actually has a quote that I think she said she's playing games on people, and one day she's afraid that people are going to find out. I think it's not direct, but I think
But
that's what
that's
she was
deep though.
saying.
That's
Yeah.
deep. That's like yeah.
And Albert Einstein said he feels like a swindler, like he's frauding people because he's receiving praise for things that he's not sure that he is worth it. So I'm like, look at these great minds,
Yeah, the great
feeling
minds
this
like
way. Like,
so
I
if
feel
they
special. I feel special because I
so
share something in relation with these great minds. So I feel special when this thing happens. Just
I think that's
for me to
that, and
handle
that's
it.
another important thing to note that, and I believe that should even help us more to bring these conversations forward because I think that's our duty now as storytellers. We have to be in this space where we think that okay, these people have dealt with it before, and maybe they don't quite express it as in simple words.
Yeah.
They don't just get up and be like, "Hey, my name is Albert Einstein, and I don't feel like I'm the greatest scientist here alive, or I don't feel like I what all these things, all these achievements that I have now." Or you say right? So like, just having people from our communities, especially when it comes to Africa now, where we are, and Sierra Leone, we don't always have people talk about these things. We don't always have people share the
Yeah.
process of what they do or how they're becoming someone. You see, mainly we just see people just most times we just see
Because
people
we
get up and
think,
then
basically, because we think that people are not going through these things.
so yeah, that's it. That's
Which
what
is
I
one of the
believe it.
reasons why I love this generation, because we're open and we talk about things when it comes to sex, religion, depression, mental health. We talk open and I like it, but I think more people should be more upfront about these
Yeah,
things,
many
right?
people should be upfront with it, especially with storytellers here now, because
Yeah.
we don't always have to share the beautiful parts of our lives. Every now and then we should be in a position where we talk about our struggles.
Yeah.
And I think I am trying to be doing more of this too, just like what you do, how and it's
Yeah.
a great
It
thing,
would be
really.
nice. It would be good if you joined me more often.
More often.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Is that an? Are you inviting me for like a
Yeah, I'm
second?
inviting you for seconds. Yeah, for seconds. So, thank you very much for being here, Abdul Hamid. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
for having me. And is this the end of
No,
the?
it's not the end. Hold
Oh
up. I
yeah.
need to give my viewers something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to imposter syndrome, you need to know that a lot of people feel this way. We feel like we're frauds, ordinary people, not just creatives. But you need to know that you're special. You are talented and you deserve to be where you are, and you deserve to go for higher heights too. So, and we should always learn to talk more freely about this, because then we heal. I tell people that I want my YouTube channel to heal people. I'm not into likes and subscribers, although I would really appreciate it if you subscribed and shared.
And you should by now. Like, you're still watching this thing and you don't subscribe? Like, really? Come on,
Subscribe,
subscribe. Click
subscribe,
that thing.
subscribe.
Like, it's free, really. Like, you don't pay for it.
Yeah, for real.
Seriously, you don't pay.
Seriously.
Like, no dime will. Just do it.
Just do it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Now, move on.
So I tell people that my YouTube channel is for people to heal, people to relate to, and to know that their stories deserve to be heard. Do you have any last words for my two Leoners?
I don't think they're going to be the last ones because I think I'm going to come back on this channel
Okay,
again.
for
Yeah?
today.
But for today, I appreciate you for taking your time to click on this thing and listening to this conversation. And I hope you can relate to this. And even if you can't, I hope you are in the space where you are trying to better yourself and you don't feel guilty for the thoughts and insecurities you have every now and then. I just hope many people will come out and talk about these things. And when you share your art, when you put out something out there, I hope you don't compare it to anybody's art out there. And I just hope you don't, and if you're a creator, I hope you don't put yourself in that position where the numbers, the analytics and all define you. I hope they don't. I hope they don't define you. I hope you believe in yourself, you believe in your art, and even if you're just starting out today, if you're a photographer, you're an artist, you're a poet, I hope you are in a position where you feel comfortable to just share your art out there. And if you do, tag me, send them my way. I would love to see your work and share it also. So thank you very much for having me, Doreen, and thank you too for listening to me.
Thank you. And I also want to thank VAfrica for sponsoring this video. Thank you for watching my two Leons. Hope you liked and subscribed. The link to his channels are below next to mine. So don't forget to just click below and see his socials, his YouTube channel, the link to his YouTube channel too and mine. So thank you very much for VAfrica and thank you for watching. Ta-ta.